Hello everybody, Tom Nappy here. And the rain continues, but so does the baseball, and we got Hopkinton and Natick, game 2 of the Pedroli tournament. They are doing whatever they can to get these games in. And we got John Ritz on camera for this one. A big thank you to Denise Antaki for bearing it out in the rain as we brought you the first game between Lincoln Sudbury and Franklin. Franklin victorious in that game 8-2. And then we have Hopkinton and Natick in game 2 of this rainy Pedroli Daily News Memorial Tournament. And we'll see who will join Franklin in tomorrow's championship game as we get ready to go here. And they had lineup introductions for the first game. They're not going to do it for the second game, as they just want to get this game underway as quick as possible with this miserable weather we're having out there. So the Hillers have taken the field, and we are just about ready to get things going here. And we had some technical glitches in the first game, mainly due to the weather. We had to move some things around from time to time to try to keep things dry. So hopefully we won't have that in this game. We'll certainly do our best not to. And we are ready to go. Natick set to come to the plate against this playoff-bound Hiller team. And on the mound, you got Michael Sullivan for the Hillers. So Michael Sullivan out there on the hill, and we're working on getting the Natick lineup. And with things moving at a rapid pace to try to get through these games, it's been tough getting lineups. So we should have the Natick lineup momentarily. But we are underway here in the first inning. Sullivan is set to deliver. And that is driven into center field. That's going to be a base hit. A single there for the leadoff man. And now coming to the plate, number 10, Braden Homer. And there's a strike. Checking at first, runner back safe. This is hit in the air left side and foul out of play. The Hillers, they already do have warm-up action, so perhaps it's going to be short outings for their pitchers. And they'll go with kind of a committee style. And with the MIA playoffs coming up, you want to try to save those arms. Oh, and 2 the count. There's a strike, and he got him. One away. And that'll bring up the catcher, Alex Jakes. One and oh the count. So it's 1 on, 1 out. There's a strike. Down low, 2 and 1. Sullivan delivers, and he hit him. Here's the right fielder, Jack Wareham, coming to the plate. Pinch runner coming into the game for Natick. Jesse Gagliardi in as a courtesy runner for the catcher. I pitch a ball, and checking at second, runner back safe. I pitch a ball. And the double steal on there. Both runners advance. Leg lift and the pitch, and that's fouled into the backstop. Down low on that pitch, 1-1. That pitch outside, 2-1. And this is hit in the air towards center field. Pedroli going back. He'll make the catch. But the job well done as the runner from third will tag and score. 2 outs in the inning. A 1-0 Natick lead. Cam Gobeil coming to the plate. We'll take you through the Hiller defense. Michael Sullivan is the pitcher. Cal Mahan behind home plate. Noah Kramus at first base. Travis Rich, the second baseman. Dylan Ruff at shortstop. Wind up in the pitch down low. Gabe Cafazzo, the third baseman, from left to right. James Hayward, Nick Pedroli, and Zach Stacy. Wind up and the pitch. And this is up the middle. And picked up by Ruff. Throw to first off the mark. And it's going to get away. Runner going to keep going to second. And he's safe. So Gobil reaches on the error. Another run is in. And Natick in business. And making those infield throws going to be a little difficult in these slippery conditions. As Max Bonnevier steps to the plate. Now this is Gavin Weddle at the plate, rather. Gavin Weddle hitting for Bonnevier. One and one count, runner on second. Inside. Well, they call it a strike, 1-2. That pitch outside, 2-2. And this is up the middle into center field. Here comes another Natick run. The throw home is off the mark, and a run scores. An RBI single for Max Bonnevier. Or excuse me, Gavin Weddle, who was hitting for Bonnevier. And that'll bring up Jake Doucette. Well, not the start the Hillers envisioned. Swing and a miss. Jack Doucette, first baseman for Natick. Leg lift and the pitch, down low. And runner taking off from first, slides in, and he's safe. Stolen base for Weddle. Wind up and the pitch, down low. And that's fouled off. Full count now. And the walk is drawn, so some early struggles for Sullivan. Here's the third baseman, Thurston Kiefer. And we'll have a visit to the mound here. And we're going to have a pitching change. So Sullivan coming out of the game as he struggles. And it's 3-0, 2 outs. New pitcher in for the Hillers. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers Varsity Baseball on HCAM. Landon Fitzgibbon in the game to pitch for the Hillers. Michael Sullivan moves over to first base. Natick off and running with a 3-0 lead as that's fouled away. Thurston. Thurston Kiefer at the plate, the third baseman. There's a strike. Yeah, Michael Sullivan, he's been pretty reliable on the mound for the Hillers, but just struggling today. And, you know, the rain could certainly have an impact on certain pitchers. So perhaps that was the case. But we'll see if Fitzgibbon can get out of this inning. And that is going to be off the bat, up the right side, but foul. A bit of a check swing there. And he got a piece of it. Well, the Hillers had a great season. They've clinched a playoff spot. They're 12-7. Natick 11-7. So very similar records. Both teams will be in the postseason, and in fact, all four teams in this tournament will be in the MIAA state tournament. There's a strike, and he gets out of the inning. And we will head to the bottom of the first with Natick leading 3-0 on HCAM. Bottom of the first inning, Dylan Ruff, the shortstop, to lead things off. And it's starting to get a little more windy as well as rainy on this Friday night. Two and 0 the count. Got Bonavere on the mound for Natick. Matt Bonavere. And we'll get you the Natick defense in just a moment as Dylan Ruff puts this one into center field, and off the glove of the center fielder it goes. And he is aboard. And we'll see if they score that in error or double. But considering the center fielder touched it, very good chance that it's going to be an error. But in any case, he'll take it. And they do score it in error as Nick Pedroli steps in. No relation to Rich Pedroli, who this tournament is in honor of. Yeah, he steps out after that one. 2-0. Your Hiller lineup, you got Dylan Ruff lead off, Nick Pedroli, the center fielder, hitting second. Mitch Simulus hits third. He's the DH. Cal Mahan, the catcher, hitting cleanup. Michael Sullivan, who moved over to first base, hitting fifth. Travis Rich, second baseman, hitting sixth. Zach Stacy hitting eighth. And James Hayward, left fielder, hitting ninth. Walk drawn for Pedroli. And that is going to bring up Mitch Simulus, the DH. That pitch is outside for a ball. Runners on first and second for the Hillers, no outs, as they look to respond to 3 runs from Natick in the top of the inning. There's a strike. And strike there, 1-2. And this is foul up the left side. Swing and a miss. 1 away. Cal Mahan, the catcher, stepping to the plate. 2 on, 1 out. And Mahan puts this one up the right side, picked up by the second baseman. Throw to first. It gets away. Runner from third is going to score. And advancing to second is Pedroli. And the Hillers get a run out of the error. A couple errors. That ball slippery out there. So it's going to be runners on second and third, and we'll get a courtesy runner for Cal Mahan. Michael Sullivan stepping to the plate. And he fouls that one away. And this is hit foul. That's Chris Wheeler in as the courtesy runner at second base. As this is driven in the air, left side, that drops. Here's one run, another run coming around. And Michael Sullivan is aboard with a 2 RBI double. And just like that, we're knotted at 3 apiece. So the Hiller bats making some noise. Landon Fitzgibbon set to step to the plate. And we'll get a mound visit for Natick. They'll talk some strategy here. Oh, some offensive fireworks early on in this one. Already 6 runs combined in this first inning. And we are ready to continue on. Landon Fitzgibbon doesn't get a whole lot of opportunities at the plate. I think the catcher came out and gave them a new ball. Set to deliver outside. So on the mound for Natick, you got Max Bonavere behind home plate, Alex Jakes first base, Jack Doucette, Colby Ciavallo at second base, Cam Gobeil the shortstop, and at third base, Thurston Kiefer. We'll give you a left to right in just a moment. Left to right, Braden Homer, Luke Doherty, and Jack Weirman in right field. As this is going to be hit in the air and caught in center field for the out. That's the first out of, or the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Travis Rich. Michael Sullivan still at second base. And this is hit high in the air towards center field and backtracking, making the catch, Luke Daugherty for the out. And we will head to the second inning, a 3-3 ball game between the Hopkinton Hillers and the Natick Redhawks. You are tuned in to the Pedroli Memorial Tournament on HCAM. Bottom of the second inning. Second baseman Colby Cavaro stepping to the plate. That pitch down low. And this is going to be hit up the left side, picked up by the third baseman, and not a problem. 5-3 for out number one. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Luke Daugherty. It's top of the order for Natick. Now that we got the Natick batting order for you, let's run through it. Luke Daugherty, center fielder, leads off. Braden Homer, left fielder, hits second. Alex Jakes, catcher, hitting third. Jake Weirman, the right fielder, hitting cleanup as this is up the right side line, but foul. Cam Gobeil, the shortstop, hitting fifth. Gavin Weddle is hitting sixth, and he is the DH for Natick. And then you got Jack Doucette, first baseman, hitting seventh. Thurston Kiefer, third baseman, hitting eighth. And Colby Savaro, the second baseman, hitting ninth. One and two the count. One out in the inning. And this is fouled away. There is warm-up action for the Hillers. And yeah, I'd expect the Hillers not to be afraid to pull the trigger pitching-wise here. They're probably going to go committee in this one and save the big arms for perhaps the championship game tomorrow, if they are able to defeat Natick tonight, of course. But this is going to be a battleless game here. Both teams 3 runs apiece in that first inning as this is hit in the air, and what a dive by Pedroli. A diving catch for out number 2. Just a fantastic catch by Pedroli. That'll bring up Braden Homer. There's a strike. Well, Pedroli could make fantastic catches when it's dry out, and he could do it in the rain as well. And this is going to be into right field for a hit. 2-out single for Homer. That'll bring up Alex Jakes. There's a strike. Checking at first, runner back safe. Away and 2 the count. Wind up and the pitch, and this is going to take a couple hops, and a nice snag by the pitcher, Landon Fitzgibbon. He's able to flip to first to get the out. 1-3, 4 out number 3. We'll head to the bottom of the second on HCAM. Zach Stacy stepping in for the Hillers. 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up. As we enter the bottom of the second, and Stacy's going to put this one in the air. It's caught for the out in right field. That'll bring up James Hayward. And Hayward is going to put this one up the middle. Glove by the shortstop. Throw to first. Not a problem. 6-3 for out number 2. Top of the order now for the Hillers. Dylan Ruff set to step to the plate. Wind up and the pitch. Low and outside. Here's the 1-0. Outside, 2-0. Correction, that was called a strike, 1-1. We're a good distance away, so sometimes it's difficult to see the umpire. And there's a bunt foul. And we're also positioned a little bit differently today due to the rain. And the view I have is I have to try to look through the pitcher to see the umpire. Wind up and the pitch. This is hit high in the air, right side, and it is dropped. And that is a fair ball. Throw to second, and did they get him? Yes, they did. So out trying to advance is Ruff, and that will end the inning. And we are heading to the top of the third. It is a 3-3 game. Hillers and Natick Pedroli tournament live on HCAM.
This program is brought to you in part by TVLsports.net. You can view the standings, stories, pictures, highlights, and more about the 12 teams in the Tri-Valley League at TVLsports.net. TVLsports.net is an independent news and media website reporting on the TVL and is not associated with the MIAA, Tri-Valley League, or any town or school.
Top of the third inning. 3-3 game. Natick come back up to the plate after a 1-2-3 bottom of the second. And leading things off, Jack Wareham, the right fielder. Logan Sullivan back out there for another inning of work. And the first pitch of the inning is outside, 1-0. And this is going to be hit up the middle, glove by the shortstop, throws to first, and they get the out. 6-3 for out number 1. Here's the shortstop, Cam Gobiel. Fitzgibbon with the leg lift and the pitch. Down low. For out number 1, here's the shortstop, Cam Gobiel. Leg lift and the pitch. And this is a slow roller up the middle, picked up by the second baseman. Throw to first. He got him. 4-3 for out number 2. And now here's Gavin Weddle, the right fielder. Or correction, he's the DH. Wind up and the pitch. Count is 2-0. Well, Hiller's continuing to have warm-up action. Shall Fitzgibbon run into any struggles? And this is going to be up the right side, picked up by Sullivan, and a 3 unassisted ground out. 1, 2, 3 they go. To the bottom of the third we go. It's a 3-3 game. You are tuned in to Hiller Baseball on HCAM.
Be sure to check out HCAM's must-see TV Wednesdays, featuring brand new premieres and our weekly series that keeps you up to date with Hopkinton HCAM News. Also, the weekly series that breaks down your favorite local sports team, HCAM Sports Talk, and the show that keeps you up to date on the Tri-Valley League, TVL Sportsnet. That's must-see TV Wednesdays on HCAM.
Bottom of the third inning. Nick Pedroli set to step to the plate. 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for the Hillers. And first pitch, first out. 3 unassisted ground out there for Pedroli. And that'll bring up Mitch Simulus. Well, Max Bonavir has only had to throw 29 pitches so far, despite the fact that the Hillers had 3 first-inning runs. Now, the Hillers love to swing early in the count. Certainly not afraid to do so. And that pitch outside. 1-0 the count. That's fouled into the backstop, 1-1. Set to deliver. Fouled off, 1-2. Swing and a miss, and he got him. 2 away. Here's Kel Mahan, the catcher. First pitch a ball, 1-0. Two and oh. And that'll make it 3-0 outside there. There's a strike, 3-1. And the walk is drawn. That'll bring up Michael Sullivan. Courtesy runner coming in for Mahan. Got Chris Wheeler back out there. Runner slides back safely. And he's taking off. Slides in, and he has the stolen base. Throw getting away there. Well, the Hillers, they are known to do everything they can to try to manufacture runs. And they got a good part of the batting order up right now. You certainly want to get guys in scoring position. Wind up and the pitch. Swing and a miss. That pitch outside. 2-1 on Sullivan, who has a big bat. Swing and a miss there. Big swing by Sullivan. Sullivan, a .422 batting average on the season, but he's going to strike out there. And we are through 3, heading to the 4th, a 3-3 game on HCAM. Thank you. New pitcher for the Hillers, third pitcher of the game. And that is Noah Kramus out there on the hill. He comes in after a couple of good innings from Landon Fitzgibbon. And this is going to be And out at first. A nice play there. One away. As Weddle grounds out. Or excuse me, that was Jack Doucette grounding out. 4-3. And now Thurston Kiefer to the plate. Wind up and the pitch. Just outside. He winds and deals outside. Here's the 2-0, and that pitch outside. 3-0. Well, you wonder if the ball's slipping out of his hand a little bit. You know, you kind of got to throw a few pitches and get used to these rainy conditions, and that is going to be a walk. Colby Ciavallo will step to the plate. Ninth hitter in the lineup for Natick. And he bunts, and that pitch was towards him. Ended up protecting himself with that bunt. 0-1. That pitch outside, runner taking off, and they got him with ease. Caught stealing is Thurston Kiefer for out number 2. Yeah, I think he was just caught off guard there. And figured he had no other option but to go for it. Kramus delivers. A pitch outside, 2-1. Set to deal. Outside, 3-1. And he'll get a little visit. He's having a little trouble finding the strike zone. Yeah, Pedroli was just looking up at the sky and kind of running to his side. I think there was some geese flying overhead. Three and one the count. And he walked him. Well, that's 2 walks, 2 straight walks in the inning for Kramus. Fortunately, they were able to get one of them out on a steal attempt, as here comes the top of the order, Gavin Doherty to the plate. Correction, that's Luke Doherty. It's a little dark over here where we are with the sun setting. And we got the tent overhead, of course. And we're going to get a new pitcher for the Hillers. So 2 outs in the inning, new pitcher in the game. We'll step aside on HCAM. There's the final warm-up pitch for Gabe Cafazzo, who is the fourth pitcher of the game for the Hillers. He started the game as the third baseman. It's now Andrew Bauschman taking over at third base. Luke Darty awaits the pitch. And check in. Runner back. 1-0 the count. Two endo now. Yeah, I mean, on a rainy, slick night like this, it's tough to pitch. Tough to get the right grip on the ball. Tough to get the right release. And it's been an obstacle for some of these guys out here today. 2-1. Checking at first, and it was a good throw over. Runner just back safe. Nice quick pickoff move by Cafazzo. Yeah, Hillers do have warm-up action. And you're going to see a committee today. It's Ethan Sensony getting loosened. So you might see him in the game at some point. Yeah, I think with these cold, rainy conditions, the Hillers are going into this with the mentality of, let's keep the pitchers out there for an inning or two and get them out of there. And that is going to be another walk. Third walk of the inning. And Braden Homer will step in. Two on, two outs. There's a strike. Nice pitch down Broadway. Cafazzo takes a long look at second. He's going to throw over. Runner gets back safe. And those throwovers are always a little risky too in these conditions. And a breaking pitch, didn't quite break like he wanted it to. 1-1. That pitch upstairs, 2-1. And he will hold on to it. I'd say that's a smart move in these conditions. You want to try to avoid those throwovers. Oof. That one was close, but a ball. 3-1. You see Cafazzo drying off that baseball. I mean, the rain has continued. It's simmered down a tad, but it has been consistent. Swing and a miss. Full count. Set to deliver, and that is hit in the air, foul out of play. Well, the rain picking up a tad, and I think that's why you're starting to see the pitchers take a little more time. And of course, he's working from the stretch as well with runners on. Swing and a miss, and he got him. A nice strikeout by Cafazzo, and we are moving on to the bottom of the fourth on HCAM.
Bay Path may have outgrown its space, but not its mission. We need your help to build a new facility that matches our capabilities and dedication. Join us and help ensure we can continue to provide exceptional care and find loving homes for animals for years and years to come. Thank you.
Max Bonavere still out there for Natick. And the Hillers coming back up to the plate here in the bottom of the fourth. Landon Fitzgibbon set to step in. And that pitch inside. Oh, we got Andrew Bauschman up there for Fitzgibbon. Bauschman came in the game as the new third baseman for Cafazzo, who took over on the hill. I think after Cafazzo got out of that jam last inning, maybe you bring him out there for another inning. He pitched well to get out of that jam. Wind up and the pitch outside. 2-1. Hit in the air, foul out of play. 2-2. Wind up and the pitch. A swing and a miss. One away. That's going to bring up Travis Rich, the second baseman. Tom Nappy, happy to be with you on the call for the Daily News Pedroli tournament. John Ritz on camera. We had an exciting first game between Franklin and Lincoln Sudbury. Franklin got the win, 8-2. And right now, Hopkinton and Natick tied at 3 here in the bottom of the 4th. And it's been a rainy affair, I must say. We've had to do a number of maneuvers to keep the equipment dry. But so far, we're making it through. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Leg lift and the pitch. Down low, 2-2. He winds and deals, and this is hit in the air, left side, fair ball. And Rich around first he goes, heading to second. And that's where he will stay. A 1-out double for Travis Rich. And that'll bring up Zach Stacy, the right fielder. Good piece of hitting there. He tattooed that ball. And they got the wall up out there. Sometimes they'll have the unlimited field, but not tonight with this tournament. You got to have a wall. And they'll have that wall up too for the state tournament, as that is a requirement. That pitch outside, 1-0. Looks like Natick is going to get some warm-up action going. Outside. And Rich taking a big lead off that second base bag. Well, with the Hillers, you never know when they're going to take off, so you got to keep them at bay. And this is hit in the air, right side, and caught. Rich is going to stay put at second base. That'll bring up James Hayward. James Hayward grounded out his last time up. Yeah, that pitch had all kinds of gas. 0-1. Some good movement, too. Well, since the first inning, Bonnevere has really tamed the Hillers lineup for the most part, but maybe not here, as that's going to drop in for a hit, and here comes the go-ahead run. It's an RBI single for James Hayward. Travis Rich around to score, and the Hillers on top, 4-3. Well, I gave the Hillers a little bit of the announcer jinx there. Dylan Ruff set the step to the plate. And Ruff gets into this one. That is going to drop foul. I actually hit the fake mound they got over there in the warm-up area. 0-1 the count. Checking at first, runner back safe. Oh, that was just a nice piece of hitting by Hayward. And this is going to be up the left side. Glove and drop, picked back up by the third baseman, and he hung on to it. Didn't even bother to throw, as he probably didn't have a good grip on it. We'll see if they score that a single or an error. They're going to say reached on an error. I agree. Nick Pedroli to the plate. Two on, two outs. Pedroli hoping to do some damage here. So far, he has walked and grounded out. Well, Max Bonnevere up to 61 pitches now. And there's a little conference going on the mound. I'm sure they'd like to see if he can get through this inning. And this is going to be hit up the left side, and everybody's going to be safe. I think it was a mishandle by the shortstop. So it's going to be bases loaded for the Hillers. And they're going to rule that an infield single. He hit that so hard that I actually couldn't find the ball for a moment. And now we're going to get a mound conference with the bases full of Hillers. Well, Hopkinton a chance to do some damage here, but they're going to have to do it against a new pitcher. That's going to be the day for Max Bonnevere, new pitcher coming in the game for Natick. We'll fill you in with who that is when we come back on HCAM.
HCAM programming is supported by our viewers, thank you, and by Phipps Insurance Agency, representing companies such as MapFree Insurance. Their family-owned independent agency is deeply rooted in the communities they serve and offer time-tested insurance products to fit individual needs. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance specializes in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance.
New pitcher for Natick, Gavin Weddle takes over. He was the DH, so he'll bat in the same spot. Mitch Simulus steps to the plate. An opportunity to do some damage here. Bases loaded, but there is two outs. A pitch down low, 1-0. Well, Mitch Simulus has struck out both times at the plate so far. I'd like to try to change that right here. And inside, 2-0. Well, the Hillers grabbed the lead thanks to a James Hayward single that scored Travis Rich after Rich doubled earlier in the inning. That pitch outside. 3-0, a walk would score a run, so if you're Mitch Simulus, you're holding that bat. There's a strike, 3-1. strike two. 3-2. Well, big pitch coming up here. And this is up the left side, foul. Time called. Pitcher taking a little too long there. Set to deliver. And foul. Hiller is really ripping them up the left side tonight. A lot of their hits going towards left field. And it's low. Walk drawn, run scores. James Hayward around to score. And the Hillers are up by 2. Cal Mahan to the plate. Down low. 1-0. There's a strike, 1-1. Set to deliver. And it's low, 2-1. Hit in the air, right side, battling the lights and making the catch is the right fielder, Jake Weirden. And that will be it for the 4th inning, but the Hillers plate a pair. And they take the 5-3 lead as we head to the top of the 5th on HCAM. Top of the fifth inning. Hillers leading 5-3. Gabe Cafazzo out there for another inning of work. You got the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Natick. Alex Jakes coming up. And that pitch down low, 1-0. Wind up and the pitch. Hit in the air, foul out of play, 1-1. And it's starting to get a little foggy out here. That pitch outside. Two and one the count. And that is a strike. 2-2. Time called by the hitter. Warm-up action continuing for the Hillers. Set for the 2-2. I believe it's still Ethan Sensini out there. Swing and a miss. Got him. Here's Jack Wehrman, the right fielder. Hit high in the air, and it's staying along the infield, and it's caught by the second baseman. 2 away. Cam Gobeil set to step to the plate. Oh, he dropped it. So he lost it in the lights. My apologies. It was lost in the lights. So he reaches on the error. Well, that's the tough thing when you got rain coming down at your face and you're looking up into the lights. It's not easy to make that catch. And that ball was hit pretty high. Checking at first, runner back safe. And a little discussion here between the ump and the pitcher. I think he's just getting a new baseball. Well, let's see. So it could be. So John thinks it's jewelry, so we'll go with that. He had to get rid of a piece of jewelry. That pitch down low. 1 on, 1 out. 1-0 count. Checking at first, runner back safe. Pitch down low. That fog really starting to build up a little bit out there. That's going to have an impact as well. And it's certainly going to impact our view a little too if it continues to build up. 2-1. Checking at first. Ooh, that was close, but runner safe. He's going to check in again. Keep that runner at bay. And this is hit up the left side, picked up by the shortstop. They get one out at second. Throw to first. Did they double them up? Yes, they did. 6-4-3 to wrap up the inning. And that's how you do it. The Ellers lead it 5-3 as we head to the bottom of the fifth on HCAM. Apologies, folks. A little technical glitch, as will often happen with these wet weather days. And Michael Sullivan goes down by way of the K. That's first out of the inning as Gavin Weddle gets Sullivan swinging. And now we have Landon Fitzgibbon stepping to the plate. Or actually, excuse me, Andrew Bauschman, who took over Landon Fitzgibbon's spot in the batting order. And he'll foul that one away. 0-1. Well, the Hillers trying to close it out here. They'll have Natick down to their final 6 outs. That pitch outside. And maybe not so noticeable on your TV screen yet, but the fog really starting to build up out here a little bit. As if I needed anything else to affect my vision as that's fouled off. 1-0-2. Wind up and the pitch. And this is going to be a trickler up the left side, picked up by the shortstop. Throw is off the mark. And he is going to reach. So Andrew Bauschman aboard. We'll see what they score that one. It was a difficult play to make. Travis Rich set to step to the plate. And they are going to rule, they're going to score an error. That pitch is outside. 1-0 the count. And checking at first, runner back safe. Set to deliver. Swing and a miss. 1-1. And they'll check in again. The throw's going to get away, and here he goes. Heading to second is Bauschman, and he's aboard. So always risky trying to throw over in these conditions, and it works out for the Hillers there. Bauschman now in scoring position. And time called. Set to deliver. And breaking pitch there. But a little high, 2-1. Well, Travis Rich, he had a big hit last inning. He doubled and ended up scoring the go-ahead run. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Scored off a James Hayward hit. Put the Hillers up 4-3 at the time. Then Hayward would later score that inning. After a walk with the bases loaded. That pitch is outside. Throw to third as the runner takes off, not in time. Stolen base for Bauschman, the speedy Bauschman. Well, only one out in the inning. Hiller's going to do whatever they can to add some security. I don't think they want to play any extra innings today. Walk drawn. Here's Zach Stacy. That one outside. Runner from first taking off. And they're not going to throw with that runner at third. Well, it's been the bottom part of this Hiller lineup today that's been dangerous. And this is hit in the air. That's going to drop into right center. One run is in. And it's an RBI single for Zach Stacy. Nice piece of hitting there. Now you got James Hayward stepping to the plate. So the Hillers grabbing another run. Now up by 3. And Hayward fouls this one off. Tom Nappy, happy to be with you on the call. John Ritz on camera. Friday Night Baseball. It's the Rich Pedroli tournament, as this is a trickler up the left side. Throw to second. And did they get him? They did indeed. So they get the second out, but another Hiller run is in to score as Travis Rich is around from third. And it is 7-2 Hillers. Excuse me, 7-3 Hillers. And this is going to be up the left side. Throw by the shortstop. It was a good effort, but not in time. And a single for Dylan Ruff. And that'll bring up Nick Pedroli. Well, Hillers with runners on first and second. Outside. And we're getting a little conference on the mound. The catcher had some words of wisdom. Wind up and the pitch. Outside. Here's the 2-0. Down low. 3-0. A walk would load the bases. And a late strike call there. 3-1. Pedroli thought he had the pass. Here's the warm-up action for Natick. Hit high in the air, left side, out of play. Welcome back, folks. We are ready for the top of the 6th inning. Ethan Sensony is in the game. New pitcher for the Hillers. Due up for Natick, Gavin Weddle. Natick down to their final 6 outs, trailing by 4. One and 0 is the count. And this is hit in the air, and that's going to drop into center field. A base hit for Weddle. So Weddle aboard, and that'll bring up Jack Dissett, the first baseman. And checking at first, runner back safe. Check in once again, runner back. That pitch outside. And he's trying to keep the runners at bay. That's fouled away. One and one the count. And that'll make it 2 and 1. Two and two now. Big pitch coming up here. Inside, full count, runner from first taking off, and he will advance. Swing and a miss, and he got him. One away. That'll bring up Thurston Kiefer. Inside. Hit in the air, right side, and caught for the out. 2 away. Colby Savallo, the second baseman, due up next. A pitch inside. Fouled into the backstop, 1-1. Wind up and the pitch. Up high. One and two the count. Down low. 2-2. Outside, full count. And strike three, got him! A nice way to get out of it. We are heading to the bottom of the 6th on HCAM. Hillers lead it 7-3. Bottom of the 6th, Mitch Simulus stepping to the plate. 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up. A 7-3 Hiller lead. We'll try to add a little security. And Gavin Whittle remaining in the game to try to finish it out for Natick, as this is hit in the air, right side, and caught near the fence. 1 away. Kel Mahan set to step to the plate. And Mahan lifts this one into center field. That'll drop for a single. Nice piece of hitting there. And we'll have a courtesy runner, Christian Wheeler. That'll bring up Michael Sullivan. Checking at first, runner back safe. And he gets a big piece of this one to the left side and foul out of play. Oh, if he put that straight, that might have been out of here. Well, you gotta give it up for these umpires and the PA announcer who've been out here all day. The throw to second, runner takes off, he's safe. And it has been one rainy afternoon, but somehow they're getting these games in through the rain. That is fouled off, 1-2. There's warm-up action for the Hillers. We'll see who comes in the 7th to try to close it out. Perhaps they'll bring Sensitive back out after the inning he just had. Did a nice job getting out of that jam as this is lifted in the air. That'll drop into shallow left field and be a base hit. They didn't want to throw over and allow Wheeler, who's the courtesy runner for Mahan, to score. So it's now first and third for the Hillers with one out. And Andrew Bauschman stepping to the plate. Also a pinch runner in the game. First pitch is a strike to Bauschman. In the game, the pinch run, you got Thomas McCarthy. That's fouled off, and what did that hit? Went off the metal piece of the pole. Made quite a noise. Was hoping it wasn't a car. That pitch outside. 1-2. And there it is. That's what it hit. All right. Here's the 1-2. Up high. Two and two the count. Swing and a miss. And that is out number 2. And that'll bring up Travis Rich, who's having quite a day. He has flown out, doubled, and walked, as well as scored a run. And now we'll get a mound conference. Wind up and the pitch, and that's fouled. Look out in the Hopkinton bench. Checking at first, runner back safe. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. And that gets away. Runner from third is going to score. And Wheeler, who was pinch running for Mahan, comes around to score on the wild pitch. And the Hillers are up by 5. Wind up and the pitch. That's fouled into the Hiller bench. And the throw to second, runner back. And that was a strikeout, so that is going to wrap up the inning. But the Hillers plate another run. It's 8-3 as we head to the top of the 7th. Natick down to their final 3 outs coming up next. Top of the 7th inning, Natick down to their final 3 outs as the Hillers look to punch their ticket to tomorrow's championship game. Daniel Davenport out there on the hill. The Rich Pedroli Daily News Memorial Day weekend tournament championship game. They would be taking on Franklin if they are able to keep Natick at bay for 3 more outs. And this is up the middle. Throw to first. It gets away. And he's going to keep on going. So Natick has the lead man on second base, Luke Doherty. And that will bring up Braden Homer. So he reaches on the error, the errant throw. Two and oh the count. There's a strike, 2-1. Three and one now. Daniel Davenport trying to work his way through this. And it's a walk. Well, now you got two on, no outs. Alex Jakes coming to the plate. And Jakes puts this up the left side. Glove by the third baseman. Steps on third for one. The throw over is going to get away. And it's going to be runners on first and third. So they get one out. So Jakes reaches on the fielder's choice. And that will bring up the right fielder, Jack Werman. There's a strike. And that's fouled away. 0-2. Davenport delivers. That's a ball. 1-2. Runner from first took the easy advance to second. And this is going to be up the middle, and everybody's going to be safe. A run scores for Natick. And they're within 4. Stepping to the plate is Cam Gabriel. Wareham advances the second. Well, I think this is Davenport's game to make or break. And this is hit in the air. That is going to drop into right field. One run is in. Here's another. And a 2 RBI double for Cam Gabriel. So Natick not ready to go down just yet. Or maybe not at all. An 8-6 game. And their mound visit. Gavin Weddle stepping to the plate. Still a runner in scoring position for Natick. There's a strike, 0-1. No, correction, a ball there, 1-0. And this is going to be up the middle, gloved by the shortstop, throw to first, and they'll get the out. So 6-3 for out number 2. Natick down to their final out. And here's Jack Dissett, the first baseman. And this is up the left side. Glove by the third baseman. Throw to first, pulls the first baseman off the bag. Another run in for Natick, and everybody's safe. So Dissett reaches on the error. A 1-run game. And here is Thurston Kiefer, the third baseman. Well, Natick has come rumbling back, taking advantage of a couple bad Hiller errors. That pitch outside. He misses there, 2-0. Three and 0. Well, I don't know. They brought in Davenport, but it looked like Cafazzo was doing a good job. We'll see if they end up regretting that decision. 3-1. Well, as long as you're able to get that last out, secure the win, you're happy. Swing and a miss, 3-2. But a lot of these runs that I've scored, actually all of them, I believe, are unearned. Down to his final strike. And it's a walk. 2 on, 2 outs. Kobe Savaro to the plate. They got a pinch hitter. Ben O'Connell pinch hitting. Fouled into the backstop, 0-1. runner gets back. It's Landon Sullivan at the plate for Natick. One and one the count. Ball two. And this is up the left side foul, 2-2. That pitch outside, full count. And Davenport really just needs to zone in here. And that is foul. And Natick wanted a balk call there. Fouled into the backstop. The battle continues. Well, this has been quite a seventh inning for Natick. These hitters battling. Oh boy, it's a walk. And walk out to the mound by the Hiller coach, and he's going to take the baseball. And it looks like Nick Pedroli is going to come in from center field to try to close this game out. So it's bases loaded for Natick, 2 outs. But Natick down to their final out. Nick Pedroli will take over on the mound and see if he can close it out. We'll step aside on HCAM. Nick Pedroli on the hill to try to close this game out. But the problem is Natick has bases loaded. At the plate, you got Logan Darty, leadoff hitter. 2-0 count. Walk here ties the game. Yeah, tough situation for Pedroli to be put in, that's for sure. 2-1, there's a strike. That's what you got to do at this point, just throw strikes. Strike two, 2-2. Outside, full count. It all comes down to this pitch right here. Perhaps. And a run scores, and we're tied. Well, Natick has come roaring back. It was 8-3 heading into this inning. And a 5-run inning for Natick. That was foul. Oh. They're going to call him out. All right, so they called the runner coming from third out, I believe, but the Natick did score the game tying run, so it is 8-8, and we'll head into the bottom of the 7th and see if the Hiller Bats can walk off. You're watching Hiller Baseball on HCAM. Bottom of the 7th, we are tied at 8 apiece. And the first pitch is going to be to short, throw to first, and they get the out. Quick out there for Zach Stacy. 6-3 on the out. James Hayward to the plate. And Hayward sends this one into left field. That's a base hit. And man, is he hitting the ball well tonight. It's going to be top of the order for the Hillers. A Hayward single. Here comes Dylan Ruff to the plate. That pitch up high. Checking at first, runner back. Well, I'll tell you, if you're the Hillers, you don't want to give Natick any easy outs here. So you got to be careful on the base paths. That pitch down low. Wind up and the pitch down low. 2-1. Oh no, they call it a strike. Grab the outer corner. 1-2. And it was a late time call, but in any case, the count's going to remain 1-2. Well, we are past the 10 o'clock hour. Certainly one of the latest games I've ever seen here. Down low. 2-2. And Hayward will return as that's foul tipped. Checking out first, runner back safe. Swing and a miss. There's out number 1. Nick Pedroli to the plate. And fouled into the backstop. There's 2 outs in the inning. There was the ground out to start by Zach Stacy. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Oh, Mitch Simulus due up next. Shall Pedroli reach? And this is driven in the air to right field, and that's going to get down for a hit. And heading over to third is Hayward. He's going to come around, and he'll score. the game-winning run! Nick Pedroli with the walk-off RBI hit! And the Hillers, once upon a time, were up 8-3, blew the 5-run lead, but win it in the bottom of the 7th, 9-8. And they are going to the Pedroli Tournament Championship. Absolutely unreal. Another walk-off for the Hillers. Nick Pedroli, the hero of the night, with the deep hit into right field to drive in James Hayward. And the Hillers take it 9-8. And they will meet up with the Franklin Panthers tomorrow afternoon in the Pedroli Tournament Championship. Hillers scored 9 runs on 11 hits, committing 7 errors. Natick scores 8 runs on 5 hits, committing 5 errors. A sloppy game, but a great walk-off win for the Hillers. That's going to wrap up our coverage for tonight. We thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you tomorrow from the Pedroli Tournament Championship. For John Ritz on camera, I'm Tom Nappy. The final score for the final time, Hillers win the game via a walk-off, 9-8. We thank you for joining us. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.